week on the Glass Cannon Podcast.
You are ready to set off to the high ice. Over the next few months, you're going to traverse increasingly bleak and frozen landscapes. Day 26, you catch a glimpse of this mountain range.
Oh dear.
There is a castle that seems to flicker with light.
Going to get some sleep. Yes.
The next morning,
Gick. He wakes up, comes outside.
mountain range is no longer in sight. No flickering light, nothing. You just feel like you're starting to crack.
Everyone saw it, right? As we described.
I think the
Yes.
snow is getting to you.
Stop. Everyone stop.
Day 42. You're tired. The mental strain has been getting worse. You set up in the yurt and get ready to go to bed. Ramius, you take the first watch, so you go outside, step out into the night. And as you're out there, you faint and you awaken, but you can't move your arm. You're encased in ice. A sound like chewing emerges. You dart your eyes downward, where you see several shadowy figures gnawing on the frozen parts of your body.
The adventure continues now.
I hope you're enjoying these last few episodes of Gatewalkers, but little do you know that you may be enjoying the last few episodes of Sydney being alive.
Thank you, Troy.
Wow.
Yes.
You just got
I'm
married.
sorry I laughed.
Yeah,
You just became a wife.
I know.
A
And I
wife.
just became a wife.
Is there an H before that W?
Yeah.
Wife.
Wife.
Husband and wife.
I was sitting here not paying attention to your banter, your witty banter here as we prepared to start the ep, and it sounds like you're afraid you're not gonna make it.
Yes.
What's going on?
I don't have many fears, and most of them I would say are pretty rational. I'd
Fire.
like fire. Yeah,
Chlamydia.
Decapitation.
decapitation, chlamydia. The things,
The big three.
the big three
That's what, yeah.
that any sane, well-adjusted person would fear.
Right.
But I've struggled with my teeth.
Mm.
I don't have good teeth genes, as they say. Wasn't born with them. Bad teeth from the start.
You have a wonderful smile.
Thank
I don't know what you're talking about.
What goes on
They're
behind
like chalk.
Oh, behind
Teeth
the
are like chalk.
scenes.
They're beautiful, pearly white, but they're as soft as a baby's teeth.
them? Yes, thank you.
Let me ask you this: before you start blaming the teeth, do you take care of them?
Absolutely.
Brush twice a day.
She has to.
She does.
Floss.
Oh yeah.
Okay, she
Oh yeah.
does.
I got a
can
water
vouch.
pick in the bathroom.
Okay.
I do all the things, which is why it's so.
I did the water pick for a while.
Do you
but I
like
was
it?
like, I can't do this anymore.
It's so
Because
silly.
I hate flossing, and I thought it was going to make flossing more tolerable, but then I was just standing over a sink getting blasted in the face. Water going all over the sink, all over my clothes.
It's
It's
way worse.
when you
It's
angle
way,
it,
way worse.
you have to be so precise. When you angle it bad, it's just water goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Like dirty mirror. It's just
Yes, exactly.
dribbling out of your mouth. But recently I went to the dentist, which I do because I have to, not because I want to. I take care of my teeth. And they were like, you thought you were taking care of your teeth. Root canal. I've never had one. Never had one. And it's,
Anybody had one? Root canal?
No.
Root canal. I'm looking at
I've
you,
only had
Skid.
one cavity in my life.
That's
Wow,
crazy.
you have amazing
You have
teeth.
amazing
I have good
teeth
teeth.
genes.
I have good teeth.
That's impressive.
But
Wow.
it's scary. And I think because I've never had one, I don't know a lot of people that casually have had root canals. And I know that you have to go, it's like a special thing. Not every dentist does it. I have
The
to
death of the tooth. They kill it. They kill it.
and they scoop it
Yeah.
and they give you a fake one. And I watched videos.
What?
I went on YouTube immediately.
Color will never be the same.
I watched surgery video. I watched like in your mouth videos because I was like, I want to know what's going on.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Watch Marathon Man.
And it's still scary. I don't know why. I'm afraid. I think of the 1800s. I'm afraid that I'm going to die from a tooth because I'm afraid they're going to mess it up.
Mm.
They go in, you pay a bunch of fucking money, and then like a year later, they're like, remember that root canal you had? It's gone to your brain.
That's why I was talking about that documentary, What Happened to Aunt Diane.
Did you end up watching it?
I did watch it, yeah.
You did?
And because that's what they think happened to her.
There's something wrong with Aunt Diane.
There's something wrong with Aunt Diane.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's great. But she goes insane and like they don't know, no one knows why. But it's like that's one of the things that they imagine did happen was that she had this like recurring kind of tooth problem.
What if I have a tooth pain
Interesting.
and then I get in my Toyota Camry or whatever it was and I drive up the wrong side of the highway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what if something goes wrong here and we have to put you down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
does
incapacitate.
She leaves us with no choice.
I mean, I will
you
say-
start acting crazy, erratic, like Martin Lawrence in the streets of California, and we're just like, we can't call. There's no time to call police.
That is
Take
why
her out, Brody.
Yeah.
I think it was genius, the sniper.
He's got
He's ready.
I think
he's got that eye. He's got that photographer's eye. He'd be a great sniper.
I will say it was a really good idea that you guys put in the panic buttons for all of us at our
Mm-hmm.
individual seats, just in case one of us does something, we can like all collectively
Yeah.
hit our panic buttons.
If 3 out of 4 like hit the button once, that's
They
like,
know
That's the
it's
sign.
Joe. Joe is the one.
The other,
turning-
the other seat blows up.
Turning 2 keys in a submarine, like
A
we
big
know.
cage comes up.
It's time to take her out.
But yeah, I don't know. Do you like the dentist?
I don't mind the dentist. I do find that it hurts. I don't look forward to it. Like as a kid, I was like, oh, this is great. Now I just like, I'm just spitting blood by the end of the cleaning. But you're like, oh, am I going to have a cavity this time? Luckily, I haven't had one in a while. But I know like you get older at a certain point, it's going to start happening, the cavities, the root canals and everything. But you're
I want to
very
get all
young.
my teeth replaced with titanium teeth.
That's fun.
Ooh.
Whoa. All
Like,
of them?
like
Yeah,
Jaws
just so you-
from the
yeah.
Bond movies.
Just so you don't have to ever worry about them again.
Yeah, that's how I feel now. I'm like, you might as well pull them all out at this point.
Do you have to get knocked out for this?
No, I don't think they knock you out.
Okay, well, that's good.
Maybe they do. With
They
my
numb, like,
insurance,
half your
they-
face.
They numb like they really numb it up.
Yeah.
But with my insurance, I'm sure that they barely even do that.
You can get big honking veneers.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
I love watching those videos of people that go to Turkey and get veneers.
No.
Giant white teeth.
All one tooth.
Yeah.
It's like because you end up like Matt Dillon in Something About Mary.
Right.
You don't want to do that.
Oh, that movie. That's a classic.
So when is this going down? Or are you shopping around through the marketplace?
Such a annoying, you get it, insurance stuff. Everybody gets it. It's like, oh no, you have to call them. They'll call us. We'll call the insurance.
And
They'll
as
call
we
you
know,
back.
according to the American Insurance Institution, the teeth are not part of the human body.
And the
Right.
eyes. Eyes are also separate.
Teeth and eyes
Oh,
are
right.
separate.
Also separate.
Yes.
Separate
Right.
concerns.
So, but now I might shop around because they sent me one, the only one seemingly in New York City that's in my plan. And I looked up reviews. One star,
One star.
and many of the reviews were like, smells like urine inside.
How does it?
That's why. Why would that? Like my first
Because
question.
like during the procedures,
They're pissing.
people are pissing themselves,
right.
like just trying to escape.
Or the
They're like,
doctor
well,
like
it's sterile.
knocks people out and starts pissing in their mouth.
This is my exact.
That's where my brain.
That's where you're here.
That's your
what I-
first thought.
That's
I
why
don't think
you,
I think 1 star is being generous if that's the case.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
This might be the
The
culmination.
the person that gives the 1-star review, being like, honestly, I think I'm being generous.
That's 1 star
He
too
knocked
many.
me out and pissed in my mouth. Could not recommend this to
I think
someone.
this is both of our fears, like the worst thing combined.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go to the dentist. You don't want to be knocked out. Knocked out at the dentist?
Oh,
Oh, so intimate. They're
Oh my
so in your
God.
mouth. Like,
it's so in your mouth. It's like that episode of Seinfeld.
I know.
Dr.
That's
Tim
the-
Watley.
Yeah.
Anti-dentite.
They did I button my shirt wrong when I got in there? Like,
Do you usually button it or leave it unbuttoned?
It's like
I do both.
That's my fear. I guess I'll keep you guys posted. If I come in and like half my face is swollen, you'll know.
Oh, it's going to be a situation. Like you're going to have to work this around your camera schedule, or you're just going to look really
I'm gonna look
weird.
I'm gonna look
I
crazy.
think you'll be fine.
We'll
It's
see.
you're like,
You'll probably be fine.
Yeah. It's just like for the rest of the afternoon, your face is going to feel kind of weird, but that's it.
I had a
Be numb.
So, like, is
Hey,
it the root canal
everybody.
where they like, or is it just when you get a new implant? What's the one where like you have to not have a tooth for like a few months
I
as
think
the
that's
like
where they
base
make you a
settles in?
custom implant.
That's not a root canal.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so like my dad had it. He had to get stuff all taken out and then like an implant put in, and then for like 4 months he just like didn't have a tooth like in the front. He was like, "This sucks."
If that happens to me, I'm gonna make it my whole personality.
Oh, I bet you are. You'll lean in.
Just one tooth.
Tooth. Where do you fit on the tooth? You have good teeth, bad
I
teeth?
have good teeth.
Good teeth?
Yeah.
You take good care of them? Oh, you do. I saw
Regular.
you backstage with your little,
Well, that's
So
because
go to-
I like my breath to not smell
right.
when I'm talking
Because
at
you
people.
make out with somebody on stage.
I take regular care. Yeah.
You
I
floss?
I got lucky. I took all of your tooth luck,
Thanks.
Wow.
basically.
Is that how it works?
Thanks. Yeah.
I think so.
there's a limited pool.
When God is making us, he's like, I'm going to take some tooth luck from Sydney,
They
put it in Kate.
They min-maxed me and Kate. They took all my tooth stuff and they made me
They did.
really funny.
Let's take these brain
Yeah.
crystals,
You
these
tanked
brain
dental.
crystals, put
I
them
can
in
think of some other
Sydney's
stats
brain.
they punted on.
Intelligence. High intelligence.
They gave you height.
They gave me
Yes.
height.
They
They
give you
took my
height.
tooth.
Good heights.
Are you tall?
Good.
To me,
She's got great height for a human.
Thank you.
Phenomenal.
What's your height?
Slightly above average.
Yeah.
What is it? A
5 feet. What do you think? What were you going to say?
5'7"?
I was gonna say 5'9".
5'8".
5'8". Oh, it's respectable. Thanks for Matt.
That's great. I thought you were 5'9".
That's like perfect height.
I think your presence adds another inch.
A lot of people say that at the
5'9"
VIP
presence.
meet and greets as well. They go, I thought you'd be taller. And I was like, yeah, I give off real big tall energy,
Yeah.
but I'm average.
Sometimes you wear silly shoes that make you.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Teeth? You like your teeth?
You have great teeth. Shut
I
up.
think I'm kind of in the
You do-
well.
you
I
do have
have
good teeth.
I think I've had like 6 cavities, maybe 6 or 7
Yeah.
fillings.
Brother, if you can count on your hand how many cavities you've had, you have great teeth.
Oh, is that good?
I have had significantly more than you.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess I have good teeth. I take care of them. I'm pretty obsessive about my teeth. And the whatchamacallit, but now I'm getting to the age where I'm getting fillings that I got in like middle school,
Yeah,
like
refilled.
and like they need to be like taken care of. And it hasn't been a problem. I have a good dentist. I go in, they do it. It doesn't hurt. It's fine. But yeah, it's like they're starting to wear away now, and I have to get like replaced.
I got my girlfriend at the time, many years ago, Broadway tickets for some shit, her birthday maybe. I want to say it was Sunday in the Park with George, and I fucking hate going to these shows. So I got them for her, and then we broke up. And I was the breaker-upper. It was time.
At the show?
At the show, no.
Like intermission? Or?
No, I was like, I gotta go.
Before the
This
show?
isn't working out. No, so I bought the tickets. Say it was for a birthday, right? And then after that, we ended things. This was like a long 3-year relationship, something like that. So when it came time
Is this the girl you were with when I met you?
no,
Ish?
this is before I met you.
Okay.
So when it came time for the show, she, I think, wanted to still like rekindle things. She was like, I'd like you to come with me to the show. And I was like, I've already moved on. But okay, I felt bad and I felt guilty too for various reasons. And so I went to the show with her. And again, I think it was Sunday in the Park with George. And I was sitting there. And it must have been God striking me down because at a certain point I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, no.
A piece of my tooth fell out
Oh, no.
while I was sitting there because I was so poor for so long. I didn't have health insurance or dental insurance for
Yeah.
about 13 years. So
you
I
weren't
just,
yeah.
eating anything?
no, I was just sitting there. I was like, a piece of
what
my
a
tooth
nightmare.
fell out.
Were you like stressed sitting next to her and like
I must
clenching
have
your
been like
jaw?
grinding my teeth. Get me out of here.
What a nightmare.
Oh my
So
God.
when I finally went to the dentist. They're like, you need insurance. I'm like, yeah, I know I need insurance. I need a lot of things. It was just a cavity that had just went on for too long.
Oh, man.
and it wasn't hurting you? Like
I don't remember what happened. I just remember being like, what the fuck?
Oh, God. That's
like
so
chunk
horrible.
of tooth.
it's like a nightmare.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a nightmare. It's like,
That's like what-
am I dying?
My cousin, like one of her friends was in Africa and like came down with malaria
Oh no.
and they got over it. And then they came back to New York And like all of a sudden one day they were riding the subway and all of their teeth just practically crumbled
Oh
to
my
dust,
God.
like in their mouth, which is something that can happen like after you get malaria.
Ah,
And it was like, I can't think of anything more horrific.
that's your future. Maybe
Mosquito
you
nets.
have malaria.
Mosquito
Maybe
nets.
you have malaria.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Worse than we thought. Yeah.
See,
I
that's
wish-
the scariest stuff. You think
horrible.
you're good. You survived malaria.
Yeah, it's just like she felt fine. And then it's just like, boom.
Worst
A
fear.
horror movie, like a nightmare, like you said.
It really is.
You have those teeth. They say it's a sexual.
No, they don't.
No,
They
they don't.
say it's a stress dream. Your
Now-
teeth fall out.
Well, you wouldn't be so stressed if you were getting it on the rag.
Getting it on the
All right.
rag.
Yeah, it's stress. I know one way to relieve it. Dose of vitamin D.
That's
We'll be
it.
right back. It's Friday night, and it's time for chaos. We got Ross Bryant.
His skill has gone from a paltry 20 to a manly and robust 21.
Nora Ibrahim in the house.
If you fumble on a roll, you're breaking your elbows.
We got Rob Kirkovich.
You're a fucking intern, and you'll always be in it.
Joe O'Brien, everybody. Joe!
Mr. Walsh. Dr. Walsh. Tell you what, I'll allow it once. I sort of thought between us there was a little,
I'll fucking kill you.
You have heroin?
I accept you enthrall me, ever chaste.
You're gonna have to get used to this shit.
You hear the cocking of a gun.
So what do you think?
Who really is this pale viper?
It's just someone going like,
London Bridge is falling down.
you have to meet all the guys.
Drunken, shirt sucking.
And then Carter invents the fist bump.
This is the most fun I've had in a long time.
Oh, we back in
We back, baby!
Victory squad.
Yeah.
Hey, we're back. I want to thank our sponsors, Norse Foundry. You guys got your Norse Foundry dice?
Always.
This.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're
Look at
gonna
this gorgeous iridescent beauty.
On my rose quartz. The old Sir Will die I got from our buddy Eric.
Ah.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh.
Even just fooling around. Crush
on a
it.
D100. We're going to be rolling some bones today, I think. Maybe not. We'll see. I really don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. And I also want to thank Foundry Virtual Tabletop. They're just
The VTT of
the
champions.
best. The VT. Have you made the switch yet? What are you doing? Stop messing around with inferior virtual tabletops, of which there are many out there.
Too many.
Too many, if you ask me.
Stop dicking around.
Exactly.
It's time to get serious.
That should be Foundry's new slogan.
Stop.
Foundry Virtual
dicking around.
Stop dicking around.
See that t-shirt. You guys make that t-shirt for me. I'll wear it.
Andrew, you heard it's good for me. We are, I don't want to say the road to the end has begun because it already began.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It already
Began a while back.
It's happening. We haven't talked too much about it because I don't really know how many more reps it's going to be. I have an idea. I have a goal, but we'll see. Things have definitely sped up and improved since Matthew left.
Are the two related, Sydney, in your thoughts?
I wouldn't say so, but you know what? You're the GM. You see everything. You have your bird's eye view. So
I will just say more engagement, more views,
Wow.
more likes, more general fun at the table.
So rude.
wow.
We definitely missed out on a lot of cogent interjections when you mentioned Sunday in the Park with George.
That's true. I mean, that saved time I'm so glad.
Yeah, that shaved a good 45
We didn't
minutes
have
off
to go
the
through the
episode.
whole soundtrack.
I'm just imagining. I'm like, who are these people? You're talking about more engagement, more views. I'm like, who are these people out there that are like, wait, they heard it through the grapevine? Matthew's off of Gatewalkers? Oh, now I'll watch.
Now I'll
Like,
watch.
that makes a lot of
Finally.
sense. Finally.
You have entered the long journey over the crown of the world, a journey that some of us have made in other adventure paths many moons ago. We were happy.
You started to make it sound like we did it in real life.
Yeah, we did.
Like,
Many of us have
journeys
gone.
Many of us have made.
I like it.
It felt real. It was real to me. And we have begun this journey. You think it's going to take over 2 months to get from essentially Icegate or the Temple of Findalad Lara to where Dr. Riddleson believes the Nameless spires to be. This, civilization, this city, this ruin, this monument somewhere on the crown of the world. That is your destination. And the journey has been fraught with a different kind of danger. You haven't had to really fight any enemies so far. The enemies you're fighting are the enemies in your mind, because this is wearing on you physically and it's wearing on you mentally. The cold, obviously you have protections against the cold. You're using Endure elements to protect yourself from the extreme cold. But, even though you've got your comfy little yurt at the end of the night, you're starting to see things, you're starting to hear things, and you don't know how much of it is actual supernatural events and how much of it is your mind playing tricks on you. You're seeing things that appear to be mirages, but again, is this all part of what's going on with Asoyo? Or are you just deteriorating mentally? And we ended last week's ep with Brother Ramius taking first watch. Even though you got the yurt and you feel pretty safe in there, it's a nondescript looking yurt from the outside, or a tent from the outside. You get inside, it's a palatial mansion. You feel like you're falling asleep, and so you sneak outside to get some fresh air, just to kind of wake you up, like rolling the window down if you have a 70s car and you're driving and sleepy. You get outside and the cold air hits you and you start to feel really drowsy and you pass out. And when you wake up, you have that feeling initially of sleep paralysis that you realize isn't quite sleep paralysis. You're like encased in ice. That's what I believe I said. You feel like you're frozen. You've got an itch on the bottom of your leg and you can't move your arms. And you look down the edge of your body and there are these shadows sort of gnawing at your legs. And that is where we pick up today. What is your deviant ability?
Ghostly grasp.
Okay, and how has this manifested thus far in our adventure? And it's also grown in power.
Yes, he hasn't used it much because it's mechanically irrelevant. but it manifests as a ghostly hand that can reach out, I think up to like 15 feet away.
Okay.
And it can grab an unattended object as it starts. It increased in power when he could use it to grapple an opponent, which I attempted to do once. I think it was successful. It was when they're inside the gnome village where we fought Bolon. There were it was when Lucky was getting attacked by those things that jumped us, and I tried to stop it, reached out with the hand. Yeah, I just don't use it much. If obviously you're a cleric, you feel like you got to spend most of your time healing rather than grappling foes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it manifests, and I have always thought of it as like the way that he lost his brother. The last time he saw his brother, he had fallen. And he was right next to him when he fell, and it's this image of like trying to reach out.
It's like Magneto in the beginning of X-Men, where he's like reaching out for his mother.
Yes.
So it's like his powers
yes,
like manifest.
exactly.
And he, like,
stretching, and then the
gates
gates are like, yeah, something like that. So I feel like that explains it to me when he came back why he has this ability.
Okay. Well, I think that this situation is one in which it may want to manifest. You can't physically reach down to like brush off these shadows when you hit your foot. And so your mind reaches out and you try to manifest this deviant ability, we'll say. And as you do so, not only does it not seem to work, it perhaps backfires because these shadows that look vaguely humanoid as you try to you're like leaning, like trying to look down. You can't see, you just see shapes. They look like dark figures, like actual people that are doing things to your legs. You feel a sucking, wet sound. And as you reach out, it does not work, but shadowy hands start reaching out towards you. So your deviant ability starts to manifest from these shadows, and the hands come up at your throat. And at first they like grasp it tightly, but then it's like a gentle caress, and then more ghostly hands reaching out over your body, feeling all different parts. And it is not a pleasant feeling. You feel violated. You feel probed by these alien hands all over your body. 1, 2, 3, till there's a dozen hands. Now they're like pulling you in all directions. You feel parts of your body disappearing, being gnawed at, being torn off, phantom pain, teeth.
They're pulling out individual teeth.
Right, you hear somewhere in the distance. Phantom pain from phantom limbs that are being eaten away.
Vague smell of urine.
Yes, the vague smell of urine filling your mouth so you can't breathe. A voice distant that sounds like your own, but with thousands of voices underneath it that says, turn back now or suffer this future. And everything goes black. In that blackness, there is a light. Do you walk toward it?
A light. Wait, I can move again.
You feel sort of like a non-body at this point. The concept of walking, you understand, but you do not feel your feet on the ground. You feel as if you can move toward the light, move toward it, or away from it.
Oh, interesting.
But there is no walking.
I wonder if he thinks... He thinks that he died. He thinks that he got jumped, outside the tent.
You would.
And died. And he's imagine this, right? Like he's a
or
man
first
of faith.
Yeah.
Always thought, like, how do I meet Gruhasta? What will happen when I meet the keeper? What will that look like? What will that be like? He's thought about it his whole life.
In the light ahead, you see a silhouette. Again, not unlike the shadowy figures, vaguely humanoid. Vaguely humanoid flash of your brother at the bottom of a cliff. That same distance away now is this figure. You feel like you can walk towards this figure.
Okay, I'll start slowly walking towards it, squinting his eyes, trying to discern who this is. If it's a recognizable avatar of his god, or if it's his brother or someone else he knows.
You walk towards this figure. First you think, perhaps as your brother. Then for a moment, you see Barnes.
Wasn't expecting Barnes. Chills.
Keep walking, but they're sort of backlit and not fully like a normal shape, almost like a blot that's getting less and less in focus the closer you move toward it. And then you feel a stirring as you get a certain distance away, like a shaking, and then you wake up.
Jesus.
To Gick waking you up inside the yurt. You fell asleep. Watch.
Hey, you're asleep. We're supposed to switch.
And he starts pawing at his legs, looking down, looking at both of his legs. Wait, where is he? Outside?
Inside the yurt.
Inside the yurt.
What, we got
just
critters?
Dozed off during his...
We got bugs?
You're sitting, close to where you were sitting when you passed out on your watch.
My gosh. He'll jump up and he slides, like scoots back, like with his back up against his head, looking at his legs, and then looks at Gik. Looks around, starts to realize he was dreaming. Sorry, I didn't realize. I must have dozed off.
Yeah, we're supposed to switch. Are you okay?
Are the other two asleep?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He looks at them, looks back at Gik. I had another dream. I didn't see the Salmon Car, the masked face, but something else. Something that said that we must turn back. We must go away or we will be consumed by shadow. Shadows were covering my face, my eyes. They were pulling me apart. And it was so clear that we needed to leave. I'm not sure what to think. Sorry, it sounds crazy. It's just a dream. Just a dream.
No, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't sound crazy. We've had dreams before where we ended up in different places. Physically. We're physically hurt. Are you okay?
I think I am, yes. Does he feel okay? Does he feel as if anything's changed? Like if he looks down, does it feel like this actually happened? And
when you first started to dart up, your legs were like still asleep, and you hit, and you're like, it's like a Charlie horse. Yeah. You kind of stumble a little bit. It felt so real. There's parts of your body that even feel cold, like you did leave the yurt. You start to wonder, did I actually leave the yurt? Did this happen out there? You would have froze to death. In your mind, you remember feeling drowsy and walking outside to get fresh air, but you don't remember coming back in. You don't know if it actually happened outside, if it happened in here. The passage of time between like, oh, I'm cold, I need to step out, to like waking up with Gik shaking.
So it didn't feel like a dream.
It didn't feel like a dream. It felt very, very real to you.
All right, so he's going to walk over. He's going to step over to I swear, Gik, I went outside. I don't remember coming back in. And he's going to walk over to the opening of the yurt and see if there's any sign of like...
Can we do a perception?
Is there any snow just inside or melted snow just inside or anything that indicates coming or going?
Yeah, I mean, you would be able to look. You wouldn't even need to... You could dig in further with the perception.
It'd be like footsteps, fresh footprints, like right outside if you went out there.
No, it's a little damp, but there's no indication that you ever left.
And so if I open the yurt even a little bit, just temporarily, and like cast a little light outside, just a little hovering glow, to any footprints out there? You
don't see any, other than the ones you made.
It's just, closes it again. It's so strange, Gik. I feel like I went out there. And maybe as he turns back, maybe there's some like, some ambient light that's just like sort of behind Gik, and she's sort of like silhouetted in the moment, and he just sort of like startles at her, and he's like, oh, wait, and there was another part. There was I saw a figure. I saw a silhouette of Barnes, I think. Was it Barnes? I think I saw Barnes by a light, but it was lit from behind, and so it was difficult to tell. Sorry, I'm talking too loud. He's like whispering this.
Keep it down, for the sake of the gods.
I tuck Buggles back in.
Sorry, Buggles.
I mean, this doesn't sound... I believe you. I'll be honest, when I woke up, you were dead asleep in the yurt. I don't remember you going... I didn't see anything. I can't tell you. But I get it. But this doesn't sound like Salmon Carr, Riddleson nonsense. Do you think this could be like a Gruhasa dream? Do you think it was trying to warn you about something?
Perhaps the Keeper works in mysterious ways, but that seemed far too dark, far too evil. It was not a warm embrace. It was not the warmth of knowledge and purpose. It was this darkness clawing its way up. It was, I don't know, the spirits of the dead, those damned to whatever fate held. Whatever fate conquered them at the crown of the world, I don't know. But they said, turn back. Of course we will not.
Right.
But I do fear what lies up ahead. Something beyond monsters.
Well, there's nothing we can do about it now. Why don't you just try to get some actual sleep, and I'll stand guard.
Thank you, Gik. Thank you. And he'll try to lay down and try to sleep, but good luck with that.
Now Gik is also freaked out too. Gik sits by the fire, and she's like in her furs and just staring at like the flap, the opening of the yurt, and kind of looking at Ramius, looking back at the flap and thinking, sure hope I don't fall asleep.
Yeah.
It is funny, just our mutual descent into madness, like cross this featureless wasteland over the course of months.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stuck just with each other, and this, the biting cold and the blankness of the landscape is it's really cool.
I mean, it's such a huge part of these, when I read about these kind of expeditions, like not only back in the day, but also like modern mountain climbers and stuff like that, like how important the mental fortitude is among your group.
Yeah.
Because, people
one person starts to slip.
Yeah.
Like I tried to get that job in Antarctica and like failed the psych exam. I was like, no, you're right. I can't argue. Like I would not have done well. So.
Oh man, it's also like, even in my day-to-day, if somebody tells me something, they're like, you're remembering it wrong. I'm like, you're probably right. I have kind of a bad memory.
I defer.
But imagine in this, you're the crazy one, but I'm just like, they're probably right though. Like, I don't know. Like,
also,
it's just
like, what is the sort of meaning of madness in a world like a high fantasy world like this, where anything can be real?
Could happen.
Right.
Like, you could be crazy, but it's like
it could also be a hostile spell.
Right.
It could be a hazard.
And
right?
we've literally been having nightmares. Like, it is a mechanic that we've been having that has been caused by all of this like Gatewalker, Riddleson stuff. So it's very hard. Yeah, it's very hard to know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Right. And he didn't call for a save at all. So from a meta standpoint, I'm like,
it's not an
confused.
Osoyo.
I'm like, what was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything you've faced thus far on your journey that we've highlighted, the giant footprint with the stain in the middle, the snowdrift that was calling out to you when you found a dwarf with a dagger in his neck, the city that seemed to block all passage that when you woke up the next morning was gone. You've been rolling saves against these things, and your sanity is eroding. You don't know what those mechanical effects are yet, but yet another strange happening here. And as you wake up the next morning and continue on your journey, you all suffer a similar nightmare that Brother Ramius faced. That loss of time. You all experience a similar loss of time. It doesn't manifest in the same way, like, I need to get some fresh air. But there's this moment where you're awake and you're supposed to be awake, and then someone is waking you up. Well, you're waking up with the start. You see a vision of light of someone in there.
Oh, everybody saw
Same thing?
Sees something a little bit different.
We don't see barns?
No, you see a shape of a person that, now as you've had time to like talk with each other about these memories, you realize that like what you're seeing might be something that you're projecting. Like for Zephyr, initially you'll maybe see, what was the name of the young boy?
Ollie.
Like you're like, it's Ollie. But, if we were watching this from an audience perspective, it's just like a shape. But then Ollie, you start to see Asta or Lucky.
Yeah.
You start to see different things. For you, Buggles, you gave up a very dark memory in the cave on Castrovel. So there is a confusion in what you see. You start to like get this tickle in the back of your mind of memories that don't quite make sense. But you all experience this, and you all hear this voice beckoning you to turn back, that this will be the fate that you suffer, a fate worse than this. And on day 55, it becomes overwhelming in the middle of your journey that day. Everyone give me a will save.
Oh.
Wilson.
And here comes that roll.
Here comes that roll. He did it late.
said it.
Sneaky
You said
son
it.
of a bee.
Okay.
Son of a biscuit.
Jesus, dude. I
Joe.
can't pass a will save since getting the will
Just
save upgrade.
do it better.
Since the will save upgrade, I failed every save.
Okay, let's start with you then.
23.
Okay, let's see. So 23 minus that Okay.
Minus that.
31.
31 minus that. Okay.
29, and if it's a success, it is a crit success.
Okay. Okay. That is huge.
I have Performer's Heart.
This is what I can't get. I
You only
can't get my critical success.
You only failed one of these will saves, whereas Zephyr critically failed one and failed the other two. Ramius failed 2 of them, and Buggles failed 1.
From the castle? From when
all
we
the
saw
stuff
the
you've seen so
castle?
far. I think it was the
That was
castle.
my
that you-
worst save.
Oh, man.
And what did you roll?
19.
Oh,
19.
brother.
Oh, that's brutal.
Nobody wants to cap it? Nobody wants to cap anything?
What cap?
It's 2. Oh, actually, you're okay. All right, so
Oh, you don't have any?
Oh.
Okay.
good news, bad news. Gik, your mental fortitude is very, very strong, and you feel yourself ready to crack, but you don't quite go all the way. Whereas you get the sense your companions are not doing as well. Zephyr, Brother Ramius, and Buggles are stupefied too.
Question. Is this an emotion effect? I'm forlorn.
Wait, so you're already too sad?
Yeah.
You're like, you can't hurt me.
You can't
I
make
hurt
me sadder.
My brain already does that.
Yeah, I took this because I thought it made sense story-wise, and I forgot the last few times, but the way you're describing it makes me feel like maybe it's emotion.
What do you get, a bonus to it?
If I roll a success on a saving throw against an emotion effect, I get a critical success instead.
Okay, it was not a success.
Okay.
What?
So yes, it is emotional.
Damn.
So yeah, the 3 of you become stupefied too.
Wait, the 3 of us?
Mhm.
Oh. Wait, what?
That must
Brother
have been a high
Ramius,
save.
Buggles, and
All
Zephyr.
critically failed?
No, that's a regular fail.
Okay, so we all regular failed.
And
Buggles was 1 point
just
from a critical.
checking.
I was just impressed that he didn't critically fail.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 23 was not a pass, right?
23.
No. We all failed.
31
No,
wasn't a pass.
Oh.
Yeah, 31. Because she also had a cumulative penalty
Oh.
to everything, all the
Oh, I see.
previous ones.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're
Well,
stupefied too.
Well,
How does this manifest? Let's say that you, like, the 3 of you crack.
I think I've been drinking too much yurt wine. I don't feel like fully there in my head.
Is there a moment
I
that
think-
it does, or it's just in the morning this is happening? Or like we're traveling?
It's
it's
like
over the
midway
course
through
of
the
the
day.
Okay.
There's a crack. You know, you can see it happening. I'm just curious if you're, maybe you're not interested in role playing, and that's fine. But if there's
No, I'm thinking
a moment, like how does it manifest for the 3 of you? Whether it happens simultaneously or not isn't so important.
I think Gik takes out the map again and is talking through route options with you guys and just saying like, well, okay, we could make a stop here about halfway.
What do you mean route options? There's only one option.
I know that, Ramius.
It's a straight shot.
I know that. I'm saying, when do we stop next? Because we're going to get exhausted if we don't. It's the weather is too rough. I mean, look, you're tired. I understand. We're
Weather
all
is fine.
tired.
We're magically protected. The weather is fine.
So you want to keep going? That's the question I'm asking.
No, I don't want to keep going, Gik. I want to turn around and go home. I want to return back and not take another step forward, but here we are.
Buggles, how much do you think you can travel?
And I think Buggles, he's looking through like the food stores and he just sees something is missing and he just looks up and says, "Where the fuck are my hard-boiled eggs?" And he just starts knocking stuff over.
Whoa!
And he's just like, it says, "Those are mine. I was saving those."
Whoa!
And he's just like, not his
Buggles!
little hands. He's just like knocking stuff over like a brazier and just.
Buggles! Stop! What is wrong with you? Where are the hard-boiled eggs?
I don't know what he's talking about. I've never seen any. He didn't bring any hard-boiled eggs.
There were 4 hard-boiled eggs in there. I was saving those for my own breakfast.
I saw the eggs, but I didn't eat them. Wanted to, didn't.
Hey, I didn't see any eggs.
Wouldn't be rude.
Zephyr, did you see any fucking eggs?
I will say her breath does reek of eggs, but that might be a pre-existing condition.
Buggles, keep your voice down. There is no way for us to know who may be listening. And he's like looking around in the distance.
Ah! You're all terrible. And he bursts out through
Buggles!
the flaps of the tent out into the ice.
And I burst out in the opposite direction and leave the party.
Zephyr's staring at Hubert, and she's like, you know what? I think you did piss in the wine.
What?
Yeah,
I would never.
you little weird mouse.
I'm not a mouse. I'm obviously not a mouse. They're
Stop peeing in the wine.
much smaller.
Gik
Didn't pee
grabs Hubert by his
I
loincloth,
didn't-
lifts him up.
Oh,
Did
I think you grazed it.
Did you eat Buggles' eggs?
Didn't eat Buggles' eggs, but your breath smells like rotten eggs. I think you're the culprit. Why don't you just tell him? Why don't you just tell him so he'll come back?
Gik puts her hand over his face and puts him back on the ground hard.
Oh,
I need you
she's hurting me!
to shut the fuck up.
She scratched my eye!
You're not making it better. Buggles is clearly upset. He's tired. We're all tired. And I'm gonna need you to keep your little mouth shut.
Reason to get angry at me. I didn't yell at you.
Ramius is outside the tent. He has started walking away, and he hears them bickering inside, and maybe a blast of cold, fresh wind into his face. And he just he realizes what's happening here, that everyone's emotions are on edge. The journey is really getting to us, and he knows that he's responsible for this. That he's has to be a better leader in this situation, and that all of these things are external. They're external, and they're coming in. We're letting them in, and they're bothering us. And he starts to stop. He stops and he just closes his eyes. And he begins to pray, and he begins to think that the strength has to start coming from within. From within, we have to guard ourselves and our minds from these outside distractions, these illusions of things that are causing us problems. And so he is going to attempt through prayer to give himself holistic care, which is emotional and spiritual care. This is one of my feats. I have the ability to treat my own stupefied condition.
Oh.
With medicine, with a medicine check.
Oh.
So I do a counteract check against the DC of the effect.
The original.
Oh,
okay.
So I get basically another roll.
With your
Okay.
is it higher than your will?
I think yes, now it is, because my will suffers from stupefied.
Oh,
so
yeah,
this
yeah.
turns more into a medicinal, psychological thing.
Take some
As
beta
opposed-
blockers.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, give me-
Immediately feel better.
Yes.
Give me a roll. You realize that like your mind is slipping here. You want to try and right it.
Yes. Okay. Go. 28.
28. That's a success. So you'll go down to stupefied 1, right?
I believe that is how it works.
Yeah. Because I feel like you did this before, if not this game, another game. And if you crit it, it lowers it.
Lowers it by 2.
Yeah.
So we can reduce the condition by 1. So he goes down 1, and he
Start to feel a little more
starts
clarity.
to feel a little bit more clarity. And again, he's hearing this bickering, and he stops and he turns around and he starts stalking back toward the tent, and calmly and not yelling, he's, please.
I'm holding Hubert's head high on the ground, like palming a basketball.
She'll kill me! She'll
Ramius,
kill me!
stop yelling.
What?
Gik, please. Let him go.
She just drops him.
Hubert, just a moment. We are all of us, falling victim to an attack here.
You want me to go get Buggles?
No, let him blow off some steam.
A razor for your armpits while you're at it.
I take Hubert and I throw him outside the tent.
Right through the flaps. Like,
flies out of the tent. So amazing to just physically throw an entire NPC.
So small. He's so small.
Okay. So, so he's just like, we're under attack. We've been through this before. Usually our enemy is right in front of us, attacking us straight on, and we band together and we stand up to these threats. We take damage, we heal with bandages and wraps. We pray and find ourselves stalwart against this violence, and our ability to push through comes to us. But here, this enemy is not right in front of us. This enemy is so devious because they don't even seem to be there. We are becoming our own enemy. We are letting the environment cloud our mind, poison each other against each other. And these effects can easily be fixed through focus, meditation, prayer. Please, let us take a moment. Just sit with me, or kneel if you prefer. And let's meditate for a moment and think about why we are here. What comfort we left long before we even met Riddleson to come and find out what happened. Why we were chosen to fix it. And he's going to start slowly treating condition on everybody.
Gik kind of, she sits down with you, but when you come up to her, she kind of like shoves you off and she's like, I'm fine.
I think it will help, Gik. Wait, are you not stupefied?
No.
Okay.
So she's a little upset because it's kind of like you're all acting fucking crazy and I'm the only one trying to plan the route that so she's a little bit PO'd, but she also is like, yes, let's sit down. Let's calm down. We shouldn't be fighting like this. I'm cool. I'm cool.
We are in a fight, Zephyr. A spiritual one. We must stand up to these shadowy forces that we can't identify, can't name, can't see or hear. They're creeping into our minds. Will you meditate with me?
Okay. A little bit of a headache, but sure.
Did you ever meditate in your training?
Yeah, I think in the beginning I was like flavoring her preparations as like her meditating and stuff, and that she was trying to be like a chill girl. She's obviously not now.
She used to be a chill monk. Now she's different.
She used to be one of the cool girls. But yeah, now she more so just has like these rituals that she does, like the way that she wraps her hand wraps is how she like recenters versus just sitting there trying to meditate.
Mm-hmm. Tell me when they first trained you, how did they do it? What was the process?
For meditating?
For meditating, yes.
They were like, sit still. And if you didn't sit still, they'd whack you with a ruler. And then, yeah, just like empty your mind. Don't think about anything. So I tried to do that. But it would empty sometimes and then just come back harder after it was empty for a while. So I just kind of faked meditating. Yeah.
That doesn't sound very pleasant.
No. What? When you meditate, it's like nice?
It is.
Oh.
There's this connection that I feel happens with the Keeper. You understand your place. Though your place is unimportant in the grand scheme of everything. It is helpful to know where you stand. You are one of but many, countless beings that populate this universe, all working in tandem to understand survival, understand existence, and even touching that for a moment, seeing how unified we all are, despite what our minds may trick us into thinking from time to time. It's a very pleasant experience.
See, that's how I feel when I'm doing my exercises, not when I'm sitting still.
Oh, well then show me.
Okay.
What are the
so
exercises?
She starts like, okay, well, I'm going to take it a little chill. I'll do some beginner. No.
He does like a comical thing with his hands.
Like
you can put those down.
My understanding is this is how fighting is.
We're not going to fight. We're just going to do some movement. And she starts maybe doing some stretching and like maybe like in jiu-jitsu you do these drills where you're kind of going to throw someone, but not really. They're just like the drills to get the body memory down. So maybe some of those, but just like
So he's like
Simple
trying
movements.
to follow along, and really he's just treating your condition.
Right.
He's just kind of like letting you drive the ship, but he's also enjoying a new attempt at physical, what would you call it? Just, uniting the body and the mind, right?
Mind-body connection.
The mind-body
Gick
connection.
casts musical accompaniment in the background, which I can use technically as a bonus to like diplomacy, intimidation, deception, whatever, for a feeling, to evoke feeling. So she puts on this kind of what we're listening to, this meditative like string, this kind of like low
But you're
string.
going to do 80s montage.
Nope.
Training montage.
It's meditation music, but to what you're doing
Yeah.
to like connect the mind and body. So it's like low strings and then like plucks, almost like raindrops and like really
It's amazing how
peaceful
music
sounds.
could bring it all together.
And maybe Buggles, you hear that from outside the yurt. There suddenly, from the fighting and everything, there's like these cello strings, the closest instrument to the human voice, and just these lovely motifs happening and these beautiful plucked like. Doop, 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 doop. Maybe you feel a little better.
No.
Nope.
Buggles is outside. He's just like stalking away from the yurt, and it's like, you big folk, long shanks, no respect for property, no respect for anything. And he like tries to cast like ignition out of frustration, and he can't because of the stupefy. He's just like, ah! He just starts gathering up snow and just like throwing snowballs at nothing. And then he just starts like beating his little football head with his little fists. And he just starts crying and like throws himself on his back in the snow. And he's just like, what is happening to me? What is happening? And he's just like beating his little fists into his brow. And with these tears like streaming down his face, and the tear water on his face, it's like starts almost freeze with the extreme cold. And he's just like, until he just like wears himself out. And then maybe he hears like the strings of the music from inside that might draw him back.
You lift your head up and you hear the strings. You can see in front of the yurt, Hubert is like dusting snow off of himself, muttering angrily to himself. And as you make your way back, you see perched on a tree nearby is a snow owl that seems to be regarding you, watching you as you walk.
Just sort of stop dead, staring at it.
Like tilts its head a little.
Tilt mine too.
And it watches for a moment, kind of looks around at the surroundings, and then flutters over to the tent, because outside the yurt just looks like a regular tent, and sort of sits on it. It like looks down at Hubert, and then flies off in the direction that you will be heading. All right, so Brother Ramus, you want to try and remove these stupefieds?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I misspoke. The stupefied condition does lower his medicine as well, it seems. So, yeah, let me just read this again. Your thoughts and instincts are clouded. It always includes value. You take a status penalty to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma-based rolls and DCs. Will saving throws, spell attack modifiers, spell DCs, etc. down the line.
Ugh.
So, yeah, it's all of it. But him getting one success on himself is helpful. Now he's up 1 point. So, yeah, he's going to roll for Zephyr. That is a 27. It's creeping down.
Success.
Okay.
Woo!
And then, so you're stupefied 1. Then he'll roll for Buggles. That is a 20.
That's a fail.
Damn it.
Not a
I
critical.
lunge at him, my claws digging into his throat.
Oh my!
I promise, spiritual help.
I mean, I can try this every 10 minutes. I don't really know how you want to play this.
Okay. Is there a penalty for critical failure?
Critical failure? Yes, you increase the value by 1.
Okay. But ultimately, it's something that you can just you would probably be able to eventually fix. You might make it worse a little bit.
And it might take our journey a little bit longer, right? Like we might need a day of like not moving toward the objective and just self-healing.
A self-care day.
Self-care day.
Yeah.
Spot it.
But I think it's worth it. I mean, these attempts by the book take, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could,
And I can redo them every 10 minutes.
in the yurt, like do like a finished steam bath, like in the if there's like a fire, like our hot stones or something, we could actually
Big tub.
Yeah.
we could do a steam.
That would be cool.
Just throw a bunch of snow in it, glacier steam.
Yeah,
I think we need a self-care day.
yeah. That's how the Sami people that's
Yeah.
how they deal with the.
I like
We
this.
sweat out our demons.
We sweat out
Yeah.
our demons, smoke a little flay leaf,
Yeah,
listen to a little
hotbox-
music.
Listen to some music.
We
Yeah.
hotbox the yurt.
Yeah, sounds nice.
All right, so spa day.
Yeah, spa day.
Spa day.
Okay.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't keep pushing with
Yeah.
the stupefied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your rolls only get worse, right? Your saves, your penalty.
And also, we were acting crazy. We need a spa day.
Okay, you take a spa day then. I'm not going to go through this whole rigmarole,
Okay.
but it will slow down the journey. And
Yeah.
I'd like to think for role-playing purposes, even though the stupefied will be removed, there is this lingering, presence of doubt and fear and just being a little mentally off, even as you continue forward the next day. A few more days pass. You're getting closer to what Dr. Riddleson estimated the time of the journey would be. You still haven't seen much. You haven't even seen, like, if these spires are so big, you think you'd at a certain point see something in the distance. No. It's day 60. It's another
My
brutal
goodness.
day. Brutal day. You've been going at this now for 2 months, and it's cold. And Ramius, you're casting these spells to keep people warm. And though you may not be suffering the effects of, D6 cold damage, D12 cold damage, you're fucking cold and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to subsist on off of the land. So you're like overeating at night when you get into the yurt. And then by midday, you're starving. You can't get your calorie count right. It's messing with your body temp. Snow squalls all day long slow you down. You feel as if you've only made half progress through the day, half the progress that you had hoped for when you started out for the day. This is now like the second or third day in the row where that's happened. Now you almost regret taking that spa day because you're like, well, maybe we could have just figured it out instead. So you feel like whatever that first estimate was, 68 days, now you're wondering if it's 70, 72, 73, 75, 80. You don't see anything in sight. Bedtime in the yurt that night was the lone respite from the horrors of the day, but these recurring nightmares just make sleep worse than being awake, and they're just getting worse, and they're getting more troublesome and more like, turn back. You do not know what you do. On day 61, you place the yurt at the end of the day up against an ice wall. Sort of like leads up to a cliff above. You don't think you need to climb it. You can kind of go around it, but there's like a lone tree there that's like standing in the shadow of the cliff, just like you finding sanctuary. Maybe it'll be a little less windy as you're setting everything up. As you sleep through the night, for the first time in what feels like weeks now, all of you, even as you drift in and out of slumber, waiting for this dream to appear now, this nightmare, you're almost like, let's just get it over with so I can wake up and move on to the next day. The nightmares don't come. Maybe like this tree, you've found some peace in the shadow of this cliff.
In the lee.
The leaf.
Lee.
Lee of the cliff.
You awaken on day 62, refreshed, and set out. Early in the day, you find yourselves approaching...
Lee Carvalho's pudding challenge.
Lee didn't even see that just now. You approach an unknown shore, like near a frozen lake. And while you assume you can safely traverse the ocean here if need be, your vision is drawn to something you haven't seen in over 2 months. Signs of life. Just beyond the shores of this lake, ocean, you don't even know, you see what appears to be a small village full of low, dug-in shelters built of sod and must be like whale bones or some other animal bones. Animal skin pelts instead of doors. And as you regard the village, that same snow owl that you saw a few days earlier flies and lands on a tree that looks very similar to the tree near the hut you slept in last night and squawks at you, flies into the village as if to say, "Follow me." And we'll be back right after this quick break.
I know this snow owl.
Wait. Yeah, I'm remembering.
Yep.
Snow Owl flies into this little village.
You did read the whole adventure before you started the campaign.
I did. Weird people think I didn't. What do you do?
First, I try to remember why exactly. This snow
I know
owl
why.
is in the first episode, right? The first
scene.
scene.
Like the
first
Sivala,
scene.
hooded woman with a white owl digging in the tundra. There was a blast, a black fleck on a tree. That's all I wrote down.
Oh, that's all you wrote down?
Yeah, why did I write it like that?
Because
Why did I make a haiku for myself?
why did I make it a mystery for myself?
Find the other
Unravel
clues.
later.
The only other time you've seen a snow owl is in the you yourselves, the players, saw that your characters not seen is in the opening, the cold open of episode 1.
Right.
There's like a group of people working on something, and an owl flies down and lands on a woman's shoulder, and she like talks to the owl. And
I always thought of it as an animal companion for like a wizard or a druid or
I
something.
have in my notes that there was an excavation that was paused after an explosion.
Okay. So that was the blast. There was a blast. I'll put a parenthesis, explosion.
We go back and listen to it after this episode.
Yeah.
Why did I write Sivala? Did we know?
That's her name.
That's her name?
Or something.
Yeah, her name
Sivala?
was Sivala.
Sivala.
I comes up to her named Ice Rider. She says, "What news, Ice Rider?"
Also, our characters don't know this.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
We know this.
Yeah, right.
Our characters don't
Yeah,
know
but
this.
it's
cool.
It's good for the audience to remember.
For the audience.
I just want to make sure we don't walk in and
But
go,
this should-
Sivala.
That
Right.
We know you.
100%.
We know you and your owl.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, Buggles seeing the owl and having this previous encounter with it.
Oh, yeah, you just had an
is-
encounter
Yeah,
with
he's
the
just
owl.
like, come on, follow it. And he just pulls his cloaks like closer to his body and just starts like hustling through the snow towards this village.
Buggles, wait, be careful. We don't know who's there. And Ramius starts shuffling up next to Buggles to try to keep up.
All right, so the 4 of you with Hubert, the 5 of you walk toward.
Forward?
Forward.
Why did I
In
say
a new
toward?
direction?
Toward.
Toward.
I had an R in there. Toward.
Forward.
I don't know.
There were
It's like forward and toward.
Well, if there was a tor, like a small hill in the distance, we were walking towards it. We'd be walking toward.
Oddly enough, there is a tor. So yes, that I was right.
You were. No need to correct yourself.
Moving right along. You walked toward and eventually into this little village.
Yes.
And you see the snow owl flying.
Yes.
And it lands on top of a larger building near like the center of the village. It's a partially raised structure consisting of, it's very interesting, like 3 40-foot diameter domes merged into like a vaguely clover-shaped hill or tor. There are no people around. You don't see anyone milling about the village. You think maybe this village is
Is it like
abandoned?
abandoned? Yeah.
But there are
Is this a Salmon Car village?
There are cook fires. It seems too small.
Too small.
Like they're not large doors and gateways. You see cook fires that look like they've been used recently. They give you, as you're walking by, you're like, that maybe somebody else came and used it. You don't know. There are animal furs like drying over racks. So maybe you start thinking about Skywatch, like, oh, is this another village that abandoned? But as you approach this hut, the owl, again, looks at all of you, especially Buggles. It's made some sort of connection here with Buggles, and it flies through the flap and into the tent. Let's go to the map.
Oh. Okay.
And speaking of map, I just want to clarify, too, on Riddleson's map, nothing is marked where we believe that we are. There was no, like, outpost or, like, scribbled in information.
None whatsoever, yeah. And you also get the sense that he never came this far. Like, he ended at the Temple of Findaladlara. Okay. He was sort of jealous that you guys got to go all the way to the Nameless Spires eventually. But yeah, there's no indication on his map of anything like this.
All right, well, I guess we should continue to walk toward.
Yes.
Buggles, I think you should walk toward first.
I shall.
Seemed like that owl kind of likes you.
Zephyr went in.
Oh, all right.
You can go first if you want.
Maybe the owl.
I'll be right behind you.
Maybe the owl knows Buggles.
You walk in. The floor of the room is like almost dug into the frozen earth, and the walls of this entryway are insulated with animal furs. It's warm. It's not like magical yurt warm, but you think, oh, people could live here. There is a flap up ahead. Foundry has it as a door, but I'll say that you could pull the flap aside and see what looks like a central living area up ahead with a small fire pit.
Oh, it's on. The fire pit. The fire is lit.
Yeah, fire. There's an active fire.
There is an active fire.
Fire!
There's a hole.
Oh no! What are your fears? Don't look at it.
There's a hole in the top of this dome so that the smoke can be released. And there are 2 rooms off of this main room. And then there's one flap up ahead, and the owl is in this room with the fire and then flies through the flap up ahead.
This is one clever owl. It's leading us to something.
Should we just follow the owl or go to the
Perhaps their
sides?
master.
Buggles is going to just make his way straight for the owl.
I also don't want to disturb, like, I feel like they're here, so I don't want to start digging through their shit.
This isn't like Riddlesome where, like, let's just look through everything and
kill
destroy
everyone.
it. Yeah.
What fudge is this crab?
What?
Oh.
There's a human something. There's a woman in here.
She looks nice, though.
She does look. She has a kindly face.
Yeah. Or he. I'm not sure.
There is an old woman sitting in a chair.
Oh.
And the owl is perched on the arm of the chair. And the woman is petting the owl and talking to it. She's talking to the owl. And you can see as she speaks with the owl, she has tears in her eyes. She says, "Oh, I'm so glad you're home now." And she looks towards you. "Now tell me about your friends here." "Oh, yeah. Oh, all right." And she talks to this little owl and nods and then looks at all of you. "Welcome. What are your names?"
I'm Buggles.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Gikmuk.
Mark.
She bows.
Zephyr.
Zephyr, yes. And you, sir?
I am Brother Ramius. Did you already know that?
Did not know your names, but I knew of you.
How?
Do you know where you are?
Well, we only know that we are in a wasteland of the of the, what do you call it? The
Crown.
crown of the world, yeah. The wasteland of the crown of the world. We knew of no settlements here.
What is this place, this village? It seems there have been people here recently, but we haven't seen anyone except for you.
Yes. And she goes speaking, goes, I'm Hubert Edge.
Oh.
I'm part of this adventuring party as well. Pleasure to meet you. Yes. Sorry, he interrupted me and I lost my train of
I
thought.
apologize. He does that.
Welcome to the party.
Does that to us a
I guess
lot.
you're one of us.
Felt as if I had something vital to say and now it's just gone.
Yeah.
You asked what this place is.
This village.
This village is called a minuet.
Oh, wait. You know Sakawachi.
He's my grandson.
We know Sakawachi. We
Wait.
travel. You already
Yes.
knew that.
Yes, and she strokes the owl's head. Yes, I imagine he told you of me. My name is Seshu.
Seshu.
Yes.
Wait, we split up from Sakawachi though, and did he come back?
In a way, I'm concerned you are not aware of what's happening. Please sit. We may not have much time. And there's like a fear in her eyes as she looks around. Roll like a, society, I guess would be the equivalent here. It would be, if this was 1E, I would do...
What's the deal?
If this was 1E, I would do geography or even history, but this is sort of society here.
Baby.
30.
Damn.
28 for Brother Ramius.
33.
Oh,
Damn,
great!
I have a +1 in society.
What'd you get?
13.
It shows.
You.
What?
You don't understand
Very
what's
cultured.
going on here. The three of you don't think a minuet is on the crown of the world.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
That's why we were so
My first thought was, I thought this was a much further southern
Yeah.
longitude.
I was literally thinking this must be a minuet, but we asked,
Latitude.
what's his face, the elf we saved at Findalar,
Yeah.
if we were
Ilkani.
and he was like, no, you're nowhere near that. He was just like, no, that's not this.
But
We were
yet
like,
here
oh.
you are.
What the heck?
She is under duress here, and she says, this will be a lot to share, so try and listen, as I may not be able to repeat it. A nightmare not of this world lies frozen in the ice below us, where it has remained imprisoned through the sacrifice and vigilance of the people known as the Salmon Ka. Today, only one yet lives. His name is Einamuron, and when he is no more, the nightmare will be freed. He knows this, Einamuron does. He is the last of the Salmon Ka, and so he shared with me his people's legacy and showed me what must be done should the nightmare stir once more. And now it does stir once more. It quickens in the ice as she says this. You almost feel like tectonic plates shifting, the ground beneath you stirring, a low rumble like a low-grade earthquake. This nightmare uses portals and promises of power to trick others into engineering its freedom. And now, Einamuron has been taken, bound to the very temple in the heart of the nameless spires his people once built as a tomb over the nightmare's grave, a tomb they bolstered with the sacrifice of their own god. My grandson, and she pets the owl as she says this, his destiny became intertwined with yours. Yes, you met him and his friends on their journey?
Yes, but we parted ways from them many months ago.
Yes, he left this village months ago, seeking the living God who must be sacrificed to save us all. He was right there, my boy. You must have known. She speaks to the owl. My grandson, he is too pure for this world. Or perhaps he believed there was another. She looks right at Buggles. You. The God you carry in your soul must be the new lock to the nightmare's cell once Einamuron is no more. You carry the living God within you that must be sacrificed.
What?
Do you know this? Do you know of the power you carry within you?
And Buggles, just his eyes wide, just shaking his head.
He doesn't like when you talk to him like he's two people.
I am sorry. I wish I had more time, but sadly, I worry the time is eroding. And as she says that, you almost see like dust start to fall from the walls of this little hut around her. This is probably much for you to take in, but those who travel with you can be trusted to escort you to the first and last temple of Akakaru, the snow mother of the Salmankar. That is where the nightmare must once more be contained. You and your friends know the route well. You were there, after all, when Einamuron was taken. And when she says that, it's just like a rush of memories starts flooding your brain, and all of your memories from the missing moment come back to you. You almost black out. You don't even see her anymore. Everybody give me a will save.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
My brain. My bean.
I can't do it.
Just stop rolling poorly. I don't know what's so hard.
Natural 1.
Do you have a cat?
No, I haven't had a cat for 4 months.
Matty Caps took him.
Took him with them.
No caps, no caps. So natural 1.
Damn.
Brutal.
26.
26.
I think you're going to die. 25, but if it's a success, it's a crit.
Okay.
24.
24. You two are stupefied 1. You're stupefied 2.
Jesus.
And that's very important. Good thing you clean the other ones out. But in this heartbeat, as like, again, this like chunks of the hut seem to be like falling as these memories start flooding back to you, you recall all of the details as if it just happened yesterday of when, in a trance-like state, under the control of Asoyo, you played, all of you, along with Barnes, along with Asta, along with Lucky, your part in capturing the last Salmankar, Einamuron, dragging him on a sled covered in a tarp to the nameless spires where you left him with agents of the Black Frost Whale. You see yourself handing it over to like these Black Frost zombies and creatures and shadows, all working in unison with you. You see the nameless spires, you see a hexagonal pyramid, you see the ground starting to rip open and black ice coming up from within. It all comes back. You are the ones that captured the last Salmankar, and you are the ones that will bring Asoyo back.
Oh my god.
You come back from this, some of you a little off now from the stupefaction, and the walls, again, just boom, like a big chunk from the ceiling just falls at your feet. Yes, I'm sorry, this must be much for you to take in. You did not know what you did, and my grandson, he apologizes for judging you. He saw that you were the ones guilty for it, but he did not know that you were not of your own mind. I am sorry you were manipulated by that being. The powers you now possess are echoes granted by the nightmare during the missing moment, echoes of gifts granted by Asoyo to you, powers that let you overpower Einamoran and drag him to his doom. As to what's become of the last Salmon Car, you will know soon enough. This nightmare, this Asoyo, has not yet been fully loosed on the world. Thus, some part of Einamoran must still live. A big chunk lands like inches away from Ramius's head. If the god within you, she points to Buggles, can be delivered to the temple before it is too late, the nightmare's tomb can be bolstered anew. Sakawachi is close, aren't you, my dear? Yes, he is here with us now, and now knows that you were not in control of what you did, but now you are in control. You have done so much and have come so far to try and set things right. You must take the final steps to return the Black-Frost whale to its prison. Come close so that I may give you a gift to aid you in your quest. Please, grab my hand. And she reaches out her hand. Oh, what the hell is going on? And you all put your hand on her hand, and in a moment, she infuses you with magical energy that you can direct either to a weapon or piece of clothing that you're wearing.
Whoa.
Oh.
So, what do you want to do? You can make some decisions right now, or you can think about it. I would suggest.
Do we have an idea of what it is?
Yeah.
It will, you can basically choose from the following runes. You can make something energy resistant. You can make something, have a rune of invisibility. You can make something resilient or greater slick.
Resilient?
I'll take
or
resilient.
And that's for clothing. If you decide to do it with a weapon, you can make something corrosive, flaming, frost, shock, or thundering.
Oh, my God.
I'm probably going to take a weapon one for my
Your
hand wraps.
hand wraps.
But
Yeah.
I don't know which one.
I will have to do clothing just because I don't really fight with weapons. Greater slick. Invisibility. So invisibility for clothing would not make you invisible.
It would be a rune of invisibility, so it would act like the spell, I assume.
Okay. You just have to activate it. I've never applied that to clothing before.
So we can do flaming.
You just
Thunder.
activate it. One action, once per day. You become invisible for 1 minute.
Huh.
I put the options in the chat there.
Okay, great.
Oh, thank you.
Take a second to think about it.
I don't need to think about it. I'll
Okay.
take resilient.
Resilient, and what does that do?
What does that do?
+1 item bonus to all saving throws.
Damn.
Oh, maybe
that's
I
good.
should just do that too.
What's greater slick?
Yeah.
I think it like if you're grappled.
Makes armor slippery, yeah.
+1 to acrobatics checks to escape and squeeze.
Yeah, so for this it'd be a +2 because of
it's
greater.
Greater.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here.
Energy resistant. I mean, I don't know.
Cold
if we're-
energy.
If we're going to get cold damage coming down on us in waves.
Soyo has used, like her minions have used cone of cold
Yep.
on the ship.
You could
So
put
that could
flaming
be
on
good.
your hand wraps.
Yeah, I already have it on the dagger that we found, but it'd be nice to have 2 items that have that.
Yep. Or
Yeah.
frost or thundering
Yeah,
shock.
I don't have a weapon. And so I definitely would go armor. And I feel like energy resistant, I mean, the hit points could save his life, but I feel like the saving throws are going to be so important on so many different levels.
Yeah, and invisibility's fun, but I'm going to take a hostile action quite quickly.
Yeah, right.
Don't
I think there's going to be, there's going to be reflex saves. I think there's going to be fortitude saves, and I definitely think there's going to be will saves. So
Yeah.
I think I will take resilient. I think that's just the smartest thing to do.
I'm leaning towards flaming for my hand wraps.
Okay.
oh my god, hands of
Right?
fire.
Yeah,
Just-
that's cool.
Because my saves are already really good. Will is my lowest one, but I mean, flaming hand wraps.
so
Guys.
it's
Counterpoint.
just too badass.
Flaming hand wraps. And where are you leaning, Skid?
I want to go either energy resistance or resilience. I want to do something different,
Yeah.
So I might do energy resistant. So
Yeah, just to
against
mix it up.
cold.
Yeah, it's cold, yeah.
And resilient is just
Is it-
resilient, not greater, not a +2.
Right, just regular.
And the other one is an energy resistant is 5, resistance 5.
I believe so, yeah.
Now it's +1,
baby.
striking, flaming, hand wraps of mighty blows.
Pretty awesome.
Striking,
flaming.
hand wraps of mighty jaws.
As she channels this energy into each of you, a strange sound, almost like the ripping of wet leather combined with grinding stone, sort of tears through this nice little moment here. Seshu, still holding your hands, she begins to flicker in and out of existence, almost starts to fade like Marty McFly for a moment, and then you see fear enter her eyes. The little snow owl that she's talking to, as if it was Sakawachi, also appears on her other shoulder. A moment later, is back on this shoulder. She's like, oh no. Your nightmares as of late, big chunk comes out of the wall. They have drawn attention from predators beyond the wall of sleep. And she's saying this, and not even all of her words are getting out because she's starting to fade and her voice is fading with it. And as things are falling off the sides of the wall, you look beyond and you don't see the village beyond. You see pure inky blackness. You see the nothing beyond the walls
It's like the
of this.
never-ending story.
It's like the never-ending story.
Oh God, it's so scary.
Says you must defeat these dreamscapers before you can. And as she says that, a thunderous ripping sound echoes through, cuts her off, and she and everything around it disappear completely. You are in nothingness. You feel there is something beneath your feet, but you see no ground.
Oh.
It's the Four Kings fight. Is it Four Kings?
Yeah, the Nameless King.
The Nameless King.
No, I think it's the Four Kings. Yeah, the Four Kings, Dark Souls. Anyways, look it up. In this darkness, you hear a sound of something approaching, and you see figures in the distance. These creatures that just
No.
get closer to you until there are these 4 large, floating, maggot-like abominations just appearing near you as if ripped out of holes in reality. And these holes that for a moment appear as they merge right near you, seal up. And we'll see you next week.
Oh my God!
Gosh. Oh no.
God. This is so bad.
Oh shit.
So insane.
Stupefied 2!
Oh fuck, I'm stupefied. Damn it.